Like to begin with the recitation of the Holy Quran from one of our sheikh from our community, which is everyone who knows Sheikh Hassan Ali, mashallah, from the Makkah Center, and they're celebrating their 20th year this year. So they were kind of getting jealous about CIOGC graduate, 30 years, so they decided to make sure they had their 20th year this year. So with that, Sheikh Hassan Ali, if you could please come on up, inshallah.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وأدخل الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار خالدين فيها بإذن ربهم تحيتهم فيها سلام. ألم تر كيف ضرب الله مثلا كلمة طيبة كشجرة طيبة أصلها ثابت وفرعها في السماء تؤتي أكلها كل حين بإذن ربها ويضرب الله الأمثال للناس لعلهم يتذكرون. ومثل كلمة خبيثة كشجرة خبيثة اجتثت من فوق الأرض ما لها من قرار. يثبت الله الذين آمنوا بالقول الثابت في الحياة الدنيا وفي الآخرة ويضل الله الظالمين ويفعل الله ما يشاء. I will translate. And those who believed and did righteous deeds will be admitted to gardens beneath which rivers flow, abiding entirely therein by permission of the Lord, and their greetings therein will be peace. Have you not considered how God presents an example, making a good word like a good tree, whose root is very stable, fixed, and its branches high in the sky? It produces its fruits all the time by the permission of its Lord, and God presents examples for the people that perhaps they will be reminded. And the example of a bad word is like a bad tree uprooted from the surface of the earth, not having any stability. God keeps firm those who believe with the firm word in the worldly life and in the hereafter. And God sends astray the wrongdoers, and God does what He wills. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheikh Hassan, for your beautiful recitation. I want to welcome all of you to the Islamic Council of Islamic Organizations of Greater Chicago. It's its 30th year. Now let's think about 30 years. What has happened in 30 years? In 30 years ago, I was 17 years old. 30 years ago, Khaysuddin Uncle, one of the first founding members of CIOGC, had black hair. 30 years ago, I had hair. 30 years ago, my hair was black and not white. But 30 years ago, also in the government, it was Mayor Daley. Jim Edgar was the governor. But there's one person, see, a lot of politicians come and go. But there's been one politician who's been there for more than 30 years and still involved in our community and made an impact in many other, and especially in the state of Illinois and the city of Chicago. He's an individual, when I was in elementary school at Peterson Elementary, I would see him with the Jesse White tumbling team. So I want to say, Jesse White, thank you for all the service that you have done for our community for many years. If you can please stand up. It took me 30 years to finally shake your hand, so I finally did it today. I appreciate it. Yes. All right. So it has been 30 years. So in 30 years, a lot of things have changed. Our community has gotten bigger. There might have been about 3, 4 Islamic schools. Now there's 14, 15 Islamic schools. You maybe had about 15, 20 masajids, and now you have more than 100 masajids and Muslim organizations, right? There was only one halal pizza joint called Italian Express when I grew up on Divan, and now almost in any community, any place, you could get halal options, right? So there has been a lot of good things have happened, and inshallah today, through the video, we will see these specific things happen. Now the program looks long, and my whole duty is to speed this up. So if someone's talking too long, in a nice way, in the most Islamic way possible, I'm going to try to stop you. All right, so we're going to do this, and I'm going to not say all my jokes right now. I'm going to try to keep it going. So with that, the next individual I would like to invite is the director of CIOGC, Executive Director, Gregory Abdullah Mitchell, for his welcoming remarks. If anyone ever seen, the Allstate commercial, if they ever needed a second person to do that voice, this is the person. Right? So in case CIOGC gets too much for you, we will go ahead and ask them to contact you. Is he here? Oh, he's trying to sneak up on me. All right, Jazakallah khair. I'm here looking, waiting, and buying time, and you're already there. Sir?
Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. You know, tonight is a night of celebration. There's only one problem I have. I was limited to, I think 3, is that right, Habib, 3 minutes? And that's real difficult for me to limit my remarks to 3 minutes. I really think it's not fair. I should have the ability to tell the whole story, because this is a special night tonight. This is, as we mark the 30th anniversary of this great organization called the Council of Islamic Organizations of Greater Chicago. And it's not an organization, it's really a federation of all of us that are sitting right here. So I knew I couldn't cut this down to 10 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a version for you so you can hear everything I had to say. Just hold tight. See? Oh, it's...
December. It's cold outside. It's windy. It's day 2. Get in your car. Drive to the local store. Buy what you need. Don't forget your groceries. Come back. Prepare a nice hot pizza.
Okay, I was speaking quite fast there. The point I'm trying to emphasize to you, you're not going to hear everything that I would like to say tonight. But the reality of it is that we are here to mark a journey of organization that started back in October of 1992. You will see a story told. And the only thing I ask of you in rounding out my comments to you is that you pay close attention and look at these videos and the information shared tonight just as if you were reading a book. And when you read a book, it requires you to be an active participant, understanding the emotions and the drive and the sincerity of those people who actually are doing this work. So on behalf of the Council of Islamic Organizations, its board, my hard-working staff, thank you for joining us this evening. Assalamu alaikum.
Jazakallah khair. And I ask that you make dua for Brother Mitchell for all the time and effort, because working with different organizations who are all volunteers, sometimes boards is not always easy to get a hold of everyone, and following up on things. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless all the work.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. First of all, thank you, everyone, for joining today. I welcome you all today. What an amazing look back for last 30 years. What a journey that it was for 30 years. 30 years ago, Trailblazers started a phenomena which would capture the hearts and minds of the Chicago Muslim Ummah. Our founders launched the start of the CIGC, which destined to become Chicago's largest Muslim represented organization, where we are representing more than 750,000 Muslims today. So the work which was started 30 years ago will continue, and I want to acknowledge and honor our past, and that's what we're trying to do today. And I want to thank all the past chairs who are here with us, and we will acknowledge everyone coming up here for their achievements and their contribution to the community. So with that, please join me in welcoming our founders, those who have established the council, and the past chairs to join us on the stage. First, I want to invite Dr. Talat Usman to be on the stage here, as he was the chairman who founded the CIGC committee. And the next we have is Dr. Khaisaruddin. Brother Kareem Irfan, the past chair. And we have Imam Abdul Malik Mujahid. Dr. Zahir Salul, he's on his way, but I think Sister Suzanne is here, that we can have her come and accept on behalf of Dr. Zahir Salul. Sister Suzanne. Yes. And Brother Bassam Usman, he's on his way, so he's not here today with us at this moment. So we will want to acknowledge, please give a round of applause to all the founders, the presidents, past chairs, and the committee members who have worked so hard in establishing the council. Also, Dr. Talal Sabuli is not here. I thought we were going to have someone on behalf of him to accept this award. She's not here. Okay. Tonight, we have a lot to celebrate. As we are celebrating our 30 years, there's many that we want to congratulate today. First and foremost, on behalf of the Council of Islamic Organization of Greater Chicago, we congratulate all the elected officials and candidates that who ran for this election this year. And what a run that we had today. And on behalf of the council, I want to congratulate the Muslim candidate who ran in this election, and I wish them a greater success in the future. Sister Nabila Sayed, the first South Asian American Muslim and Illinois' youngest state legislator to the House, yes. Nabila is traveling and she couldn't join us today. However, I'm really excited to introduce a longtime council partner and a dear friend, Abdul Nasser Rashid, who has been elected as the first Palestinian Muslim to serve in the Illinois General Assembly.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. What a wonderful occasion, and so nice to be here with so many friends and mentors and supporters. And congratulations to CIOGC on 30 years of incredible service to our community. Let's give CIOGC a round of applause. You know, alhamdulillah, because of the work of CIOGC and its member organizations, the masajid, the schools, the social service agencies, so many other wonderful organizations serving our community, the foundations were built so that we can then have a voice and a seat at the table in our government and in our policy making. And so alhamdulillah, this year we made history going from 0 Muslim representatives to 2, with myself and our sister Nabila Sayed. So, you know, this is, it's a reflection not only of our community's growing political strength and presence, but it also is a sign of what our community has to offer. MashaAllah, the Muslim community in Illinois is a part of the fabric of our state. We help make Illinois and our country what it is. And so I hope this is just the beginning, where we shouldn't have just 2 people in the legislature, we should have more, and at every level of government. And so I invite all of you and all of the folks who are considering getting involved in public service to consider running for office, working in government, and offering the excellent contributions and expertise and dedication and passion to help make our communities and our state and our country better places to live and to raise our families. And so, I was around 10 years ago, or around the time of the first IMAD, and I participated in several IMADs. And I look forward to hosting CIOGC in the Muslim community for IMAD 2023, inshallah, to work with you on your legislative agenda and partner with you and work together to make sure that we're helping make Illinois a better place for us and for our community. So thank you so much, and congratulations again on this wonderful anniversary. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
All right, so before we get to the next part, mashallah, may Allah reward the the individuals, the founders, and the people who are part of the CIOGC. But it was really nice. I think it was really nice that Dr. Salul wasn't there, but his wife was there. Because I need you to make dua for the families, right? So I'm a person who grew up where parents were involved. And a lot of times you don't see the stuff the moms do or the other spouse does to make things happen for people to have free time to do things for the community. So we want to make sure that we bless and make dua for everyone who's part of this community, from CIOGC to the masajids, so that you make dua for their families so we can have the best in this world and the best in hereafter, Jannatul Firdaus. Say Ameen. This is free because fundraising isn't going to be. All right. So with that, the council honors and recognizes individuals soaring accomplishments among the Muslim communities. Throughout the evening, we will be presenting CIOGC Muslim Achievers Awards and Service Awards. So we have different individuals going to go ahead and introduce these specific Muslim Achiever Awards. And the first one is Dr. Noor Akras.
Assalamu alaikum, Chicago. How are you guys? So my name is Noor Akhras. I'm a pediatric infectious diseases physician at Ascension St. Alexis Women and Children's Hospital in Hoffman Estates. And undoubtedly, you've all noticed that never in recent human history has it been more apparent and more evident how important physicians, public policymakers, and public health officials are to ensuring our communal health, as we've seen in the last 2 years during this pandemic. And that's why it gives me great pleasure to introduce the first Muslim Achiever awardee for tonight, the newly appointed director of the Illinois Department of Public Health, Dr. Samir Vora. Dr. Samir was recently highlighted in Crane's 40 Under 40. His biography is in the pamphlet here, but they highlighted how many degrees he has, mashallah. So he has a degree in political science and the science of human culture from Northwestern, and then he went on and got a law degree and a medical degree from Southern Illinois. And then while he was doing his pediatric residency, he also got a master's in public policy. So we are so honored and privileged to give you this award, and we're so proud of you as a community for highlighting and showing our next generation what can happen when you dream big, when you follow your dreams, and you work hard. So at this time, I'd like to invite Brother Irshad to come up here and help me award this first Muslim Achiever Award tonight to Dr. Samir Vora. Congratulations.
So thank you, Dr. Akras. Chairman Khan, assalamu alaikum to all of you. And I want to thank the Council of Islamic Organizations of Greater Chicago for providing me with this incredible honor of being named one of 2022's Muslim Achievers. I'm so happy to have my wife, Tasneem, my two daughters, Sophia and Ilham, and my parents, Saifi and Fatima, join me today. Every honor I have ever won or will continue to win is because of their love, support, and encouragement. I also want to acknowledge Mike Claffey. He's here taking pictures, IDPH's Public Health Information Officer, who was also kind enough to join us this evening. So Muslim Achiever, to receive this award with Muslim leaders like Nahid Qureshi and Rashad Hussain, and to be in the same company as Sister Abu Eid is simply humbling. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This year's theme for the 30th annual community dinner is honoring the past and committing to the future. And it is a reminder to all of us that as we work to build better and brighter futures, after 2 years where we all faced huge challenges and our lives were changed by the COVID-19 pandemic, that we must honor our own individual stories and histories. My Muslim American story started right here in Chicago. My father first and mother later, Indian by ethnicity and Shia Muslim by faith, were welcomed by the city. A city that allowed them, a pharmacist and a dentist, respectively, to build a new life filled with incredible possibilities for themselves and their 3 children born right here in the United States. Yet beginning to understand how to live and merge their faith and culture to a new country was difficult. Our entire family had to navigate what it meant to be Indian Muslims in America. And for me, it meant trying to find balance, combining my efforts to be a typical American kid with the responsibilities I faced at home. I also often had to explain what it meant to be me, why I prayed to Allah, or why I fasted for Ramadan, or why I often referred to my favorite actor, Shah Rukh Khan, as the Tom Cruise of Bollywood. However, even though I knew how to be Muslim, I entered college not truly understanding Islam. So as I focused my professional studies in medicine and law, I also spent time learning my faith. learning how diverse, beautiful, and at times complex our faith could be. I spent 4 months in Cairo, Egypt, studying Islamic law and jurisprudence, and later in 9 months in Hyderabad, truly embracing Islamic culture in India. These experiences profoundly shaped my understanding of who I am and also solidified my belief in the unique and exceptional qualities of this country, the United States of America. I was an American, but that did not lessen in any way that I was Muslim too. As I started my career, met my love, and began building a family, being Muslim was central to the values I carried at home and at work. And when my professional and personal path took me from Chicago to Springfield, I was fortunate to find support in a Muslim community that was different than the South Asian one that I grew up knowing. Small, but representative of every Muslim country across the world. From our neighbors, friends, and even both my daughter's first teacher, these men and women accepted us as their own and rooted us on, celebrating each of our accomplishments as their own. The path away from Chicago also led me to a role where my main goal was improving the health of rural communities in Illinois. Listening, I was honored to be accepted by those communities also very different from my own, accepted as a doctor, an educator, an Indian, and a Muslim. That role cemented my belief that our hopes and goals as Americans are powerful forces that bring us together in our faith and across them as well. And now, over 3 months after Governor J.B. Pritzker honored me with the most meaningful and impactful job of my career, Director of the Illinois Department of Public Health, the support the Muslim community has shown me has been nothing short of incredible. Now, I will need that continued support that this council already has given to IDPH during the darkest days of the pandemic. We saw it a little bit in the video, but the council was an incredible partner to IDPH's efforts to fight the virus, being a key communicator, holding vaccine drives, hosting virtual town halls, and providing PPE to our mosques, Islamic institutions, and service organizations. Each of these efforts assisted us to overcome the complicated challenge of reaching the multilingual, multicultural population that is our Islamic community. My predecessor, Dr. Ezike, was tremendously grateful for this assistance, as was our governor. My promise to all of you is that just as the Muslim community has supported me, I will work tirelessly in government to support all of you, partnering with all populations, including our Islamic organizations, to pursue programs and policies committed to addressing disparities and aiming for health equity. Our efforts will take patience and persistence, but it is a future we can all commit to achieving. We can build it together. So thank you again to the council for this incredible award. This will always be one of my great honors, an acknowledgement of not just my work, but even more importantly, an acknowledgement of me as a person, an Indian Muslim American. Thank you so much.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Amina Ali Ahmed, and I have the honor of presenting CIGC's Service Award established to honor the life and legacy of Dr. Bambade Shakur Abdullah. The award represents Dr. Bambade's tireless devotion and contributions from our marginalized communities and at-risk youth to have a promising tomorrow. The council proudly presents Sister Fatima Abu Eid with this award. Sister Fatima's grassroots community work started in 1990 with her organization Sanad, social service assisting neighborhood Arab American development. In her Chicago Lawn neighborhood, she's an advocate for the Arab American community as she partnered with the Chicago Police Department and community policing to build a community relationship. Sister Fatima works directly with the youth, providing them with after-school programming to excel. The council applauds her work. I would like to ask the chairman, Brother Irshad Khan, to join me in awarding Sister Fatima Abu Eid. Congratulations.
السلام عليكم وأسعد الله مساءكم جميعا. First of all, thank you very much for thinking about us and giving us this award. We are proud and honored to work very close with this council for all these years through Sanad organization, through the food pantry. Let me explain to you what exactly Sanad doing for the last 33 years of service. We start from zero, from scratch. Now we are serving hundreds and thousands of people. Now we help with the light and gas bill, the water bill, and weatherization, and homemaker program, plus the food pantry, which is this council, they are giving us a big support through the food pantry. We serve thousands and thousands of people. Hopefully we'll continue to work together with this council. One more time, I'm honored, I'm happy, and I'm proud of this agency. And we have a good, I feel like they're my family. Also, I'm the founder of another agency called International Human Relations Council. After September 11, if everybody remember what's going on, there's a lot of hate toward our people. So I'm the one who don't want just to sit and watch a disaster in our community. Our kids, our neighbors, they start shooting each other, killing each other. They blame everything in the Muslim and the Arab people. And I stood up, I said, no, we have nothing to do with it. And our children, they are not paying the price. So we came up together with a handful of people of Spanish, Black, and Middle Eastern people. We come together, maybe less than 20 people, and says, we cannot afford to be enemy in our own community. We came to this country to have a better opportunity and to live in peace. We have enough is enough. And all of a sudden, the city of Chicago, they join us. The police join us. The aldermen join us. And all the leaders in our community, because if the community is safe, we are all safe, right? So we come up with this agency called International Human Relations Council. The goal of this agency is to build respect, bridges, and help each other, respect each other, color, religions, culture, have a better and safe and healthy and strong community. We made it. Believe me, we made it. Now, zero hate crime. I'd like to congratulate our national and the council of the accomplishment we do for the community. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
All right, we're going to keep the program moving. MashaAllah, may Allah reward all these individuals for things that they've been doing. But today we also wanted to kind of take a few minutes, and we have our Imam, Charles Muhammad, who will be giving a small, brief story about the African-American story and the CIGC story. So we asked Brother Imam Charles Muhammad to come on up. Now, wait, so we know that we've given you guys the food to eat, so we just want you to keep on chewing, but no one be talking. All right, so if everyone just keeps chewing, we should be good to go.
I bear witness that there is no God but God, and I bear witness that Prophet Muhammad, unto whom the Quran was revealed, is God's servant and messenger and seal of the prophets. Prayers and peace be upon the prophet. Within the next couple of minutes, I'm going to share with you important history. Something very powerful happened in the 1960s and 70s in America. It was during that time that the descendants of enslaved people declared that they would no longer be referred to as Negroes, a term linked to their continued subjugation and oppression post-slavery. It was the Honorable Elijah Muhammad who, in his message to the black man, coined the phrase so-called Negro. He made an appeal for black Americans to seek the knowledge of their true self, which is a righteous Muslim. All sectors of society were impacted by the influence of the lost-found nation of Islam. It was a formidable antagonist to the dominant group that was still oppressing the descendants of enslaved peoples. When Wallace Muhammad assumed the leadership of the lost-found nation of Islam, after his father's passing, hundreds of thousands of his followers embraced al-Islam in accordance with the Quran, teachings of the Quran and Sunnah. His followers learned how to exemplify the most excellent character and example of the Prophet Muhammad, prayers and peace be on him. It was a momentous turn of events. This once separatist movement became part of the fabric of American society by proclaiming the universal message of al-Islam. It was an inspiration for all to behold. It garnered tremendous respect and goodwill from all sectors of society, including Muslims. Minister Wallace changed his name to Imam Warithuddin Muhammad, and he renamed the community the World Community of Al-Islam in the West, and later the American Muslim Mission. This accounted for the largest mass conversion to Islam in the Western Hemisphere. Imam W.D. Muhammad was often referred to as America's Imam and Mujaddid. Among the many councils and committees he served on domestically and abroad, Imam W.D. Muhammad was selected to serve on the Supreme Council of Masajid, or mosques, as one of only 3 representatives from the United States in 1986. As we honor our past, it should be noted that Imam W.D. Muhammad's contribution to the formation of the Council of Islamic Organizations of Greater Chicago was recognized at the Council's 20th anniversary dinner when his brother Jabir Muhammad, who served as an emissary for the Imam, was awarded posthumously as a founding member of the Council. As we continue honoring our past, it is important for our Council and our community to show a greater appreciation for this powerful history by committing to a future involving more unity with indigenous Muslims, African American brothers and sisters, who by the grace of the Most High opened the hearts of American people to Islam and paved the way for Muslims to flourish in America. Thank you.
Jazakallah khair. And please make sure that we take our few minutes to make dua For Imam Muaddin Muhammad, may Allah reward all his work for our community. Right now, what we're going to do is take about 10-15-minute breaks. We want you to take your time, eat your food, and then we will come back, inshallah, by 7:40, 7:45, and we'll resume the program. So, inshallah, please, after we eat, that doesn't mean you take off. All right? So the key factor is we fed you first. Inshallah, the program will still keep going, and we still have the second part of the program that we need to take care of. Thank you. About an hour from now, we will continue that conversation. So inshallah, with that, we'd like to begin the second half of the program.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone, and welcome. Peace be with you. My name is Amina Ademi Khan. I'm very honored to be welcoming you today and to be presenting our Muslim Achiever Award to Nahid Qureshi. I'm an intern at CIOGC, and I'm actually a first-generation full-time law student at UIC John Marshall Law School. Alhamdulillah, I'm very blessed to be here, and I'm so thankful that I'm able to have this moment with you all. Nahid Qureshi is an inspiration to me. MashaAllah, she has worked in the field of advocacy. Her credentials and her pursuit of excellence makes her accomplishments extremely outstanding. And if you didn't already know, Nahid was appointed by President Biden himself as his advisory commission on Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islanders. At this time, I would like to ask the chairman, Irshad Khan, to join us on stage to present Nahid Qureshi with the CIOGC Muslim Achievement Award. Jazakallah khair. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. One more time. Assalamu alaikum. Okay. There were no mosques in Kenosha, Wisconsin when I grew up. So starting at age 2, my father and I made the drive an hour and a half down to the mosque in Kedzie every Sunday. After a few years, my father and his friends decided that they wanted to establish a mosque closer to home. That idea became the Islamic Foundation North in Libertyville. I have great memories of IFN. Iftars, Eid parties, graduations, pound cake and 7-Up for snack time. Even Sunday school was fun. Though one year my class caused so much mischief, we were forced to go to summer Sunday school, so that wasn't very fun. We also spent quite a bit of time having heated debates about what it meant to be a Muslim. And lesson number 1, the first of many lessons for me over the years, was that acceptance of difference, not just tolerance, is key to building community. When I was growing up, our Muslim community makes sure that everybody was welcome. My dad eventually became president and later chair of the IFN board of directors. But whatever position he held, he set up the chairs, swept the floors, and put it all away when everyone was done. Our family was always the first to arrive and the last to leave. Because, lesson number 2, founders, like some of the people you saw this evening, they make a lot of sacrifices. It was not easy for a small group of families to work together to build a community. It was a labor of love. My parents saw their beliefs and traditions as something precious, something worth preserving, and so did I. And I remembered that lesson many years later as a co-founder and deputy director of Muslim Advocates. I had the privilege to work with some of the best advocates in the civil rights community: Fatima Khan, Scott Simpson, Madiha Al-Hussein, Junaid Salari, but especially the founder and executive director, Farhana Kara, a trailblazer in the Muslim and civil rights communities. And any recognition I deserve for my work is also a credit to her. Which brings me to lesson number 3. You cannot do it alone. Local groups in particular are so critical to protecting the rights of our community. And receiving an award tonight is especially meaningful because of all the work I did over the years with CIOGC. CIOGC supported the landmark case we filed against the NYPD for spying on Muslims. And that ruling made clear that law enforcement couldn't target people based on religion. That benefited every religious community, not just Muslims. We also partnered together to educate community leaders and mosques about best practices and to campaign against the Muslim ban and a bigoted Chicago police officer I think many of you know. I especially want to thank the past presidents of CIOGC, so many of whom I worked with directly and so appreciate, and also Arshad Khan, also from IFN like me, for this partnership. We're also lucky for their service to the community. For more than 20 years, I fought to protect the dream of my parents and their friends, that our communities too could express their beliefs in a safe and welcoming space open to everyone. I need to thank my parents, Doctors Wahid and Shahida Qureshi, who spent their lives serving the community and unfortunately couldn't be here today. They are my greatest inspiration, and anything of meaning I do is a tribute to them. I want to congratulate my fellow honorees because it's quite an honor to be recognized by the community you grew up in. Thank you so much, CIOGC, for the Muslim Achiever Award.
As inshallah, if all of us could get slowly, please get seated. We do still have the second part of the program. You know, I know that there was that whole discussion of should we have that break for dinner or not. I was like, hey, we stop for dinner. Sometimes we're going to lose focus, so we need to come back, inshallah ta'ala. We want to go ahead and show a quick video. There's a quick video from the governor, the lieutenant governor, Senator Dick Durbin, Mayor Lori Lightfoot. So if you could all look at the screens, we would like to go ahead and play the video from our politicians.
The Council of Islamic Organizations of Greater Chicago's guidance and wisdom throughout the pandemic has truly been remarkable and invaluable to so many Illinoisans. And I want to say from the bottom of my heart, and so you know how important it has been, you have saved lives. You have saved lives. Back in March, I had the opportunity to attend your 30th anniversary luncheon, and I appreciate being acknowledged for that, but I couldn't be prouder to be your partner as we advance the policies that are so important to the Muslim community and that support Muslim families. During my time in office, the Council's engagement and your outreach throughout the state has truly made a difference. As Illinois' leading Muslim organization representing over 70 mosques, Islamic institutions, and service organizations in our state, the Council's work with our agencies to bring vital information and services to communities across our state really has been invaluable. We work together to welcome Rohingya and Syrian and Afghan refugees, continuing Illinois' long tradition of being the most welcoming state in the nation. I'm very proud of the work that we do to welcome people here, and particularly in partnership with you. And we have had the opportunity to bring thousands and thousands of Muslim families to Illinois to grow your community, but our community more broadly in the state of Illinois. And the Muslim community has achieved so much for itself here in Illinois and across the nation, and it really has been such a great benefit to the state of Illinois.
Now, I want to publicly recognize your efforts. I want everybody just to take note of each of the things that I have mentioned, because these are hard things to accomplish, to help the people who are coming to our state to get settled, to make a new life for themselves. So once again, thank you for all that you do. Congratulations on 30 years and many, many more to come. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Lieutenant Governor Juliana Stratton. It is an honor to join in welcoming you to the Council of Islamic Organizations of Greater Chicago's 30th Annual Community Dinner. Congratulations to the Council on this incredible milestone. For 30 years, you have shown that the path forward is the one we build together. This evening, we celebrate the great strides you have made on this journey and the lives touched by your efforts. From responding to the crisis caused by COVID-19 with vaccine clinics and ensuring imams were vaccinated alongside other frontline workers, to mobilizing with resources and aid for Afghan refugees, the Council has worked directly with state agencies to make a difference so that we can join forces to be there for the community. We celebrate today because we know that there is more work to do tomorrow, and you are ready to take the next step forward. This evening's awardees are a testament to what that work looks like in action, and that includes Dr. Samir Vora of the Illinois Department of Public Health. Dr. Vora is a friend from our days as Edgar Fellows classmates, and I've had the privilege of working with him, and I've seen for myself his commitment to addressing health inequities and promoting a better quality of life for everyone across Illinois. I also want to shine a light on Rashad Hussain, United States Ambassador at Large for International Religious Freedom, Nahid Khoraseh of the President's Advisory Commission on Asian Americans, Native Americans, and Pacific Islanders, and Fatima Aboued, founder of Summit Social Services and Food Pantry. To all of the awardees, congratulations and thank you for your unwavering efforts. We need you, your passion, your leadership, and your vision. And we, the state of Illinois, are so proud to stand with you, to uplift the diverse voices of Muslim communities and work alongside you to ensure that you have the support to thrive. As I close, I also want to take a moment to acknowledge Chairman Ershad Khan. As he steps down from this role, he has left a mark not only on this council, but on communities across the region. Here's to the next 30 years of the council, to the families and communities that will be seen and heard because of your dedication to service and unity. I can't wait to see where you go next, and I wish you the very best in continuing to pave the way forward. May peace be upon you.
All right. Okay. I just was double checking there was no last other video. Hey, we'd like to go ahead now, inshallah ta'ala. The videos are over. We're going to get back to the programs, inshallah. Slowly, if everyone could get seated, that would be greatly appreciated. So inshallah ta'ala, if everyone could get seated, that would be greatly appreciated. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. All right. I got the mic. Now I can walk around. I'm going to walk around and call people out. Which people am I going to call out? You could just go, brother. If everyone just slowly get seated, that would be greatly appreciated for me and for everyone else. So jazakallah khair. Barakallah fi. All right, they're going to cut me off, so I'm going to have to stay here. All right. So we're going to ask everyone if you can take your time to come to the front as Brother Ishaq Khan, the chairperson of the CIOG, who has been president of IFN, who loves football, watches Marvel movies, halal ones, just in case. Right? And then, mashallah, has now been a member of the HR, and now, mashallah, and let's take a picture of you right now because you do have dark hair. I guarantee you in 2 years, it will become another color. But with that, let's go ahead and
Assalamu alaikum again. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Can I hear someone from the back speaking? I want to call out one more time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Alhamdulillah. Thank you, Habib. Thank you for that warm welcome. Thank you all for being here. I greatly appreciate it. I'm honored to be your chairman as we celebrate the 30 years of council achievement, acknowledgement, and all the work that you all collectively have worked with us. And we want to acknowledge that, and I want to thank you all for supporting the council for past 30 years. So can I have a round of applause for everyone who has supported us and continue to support us for many more years to come. Thank you. We could not have reached this milestone without your support and commitment to the council. The council, with the current landscape, the Muslim community of Chicagoland area is very different where we started 30 years ago. 30 years has been an amazing journey for the council, and the council has played a key role in navigating the Muslim communities to a point where the Muslims are holding the jobs in the corporations, contributing significantly to the American economy, Muslim holding government positions at all levels, and together we made a history by electing 82 Muslim elected candidates this year in midterm. The Muslim influencers and contributors are making headways all the time. I am so proud of the council's contribution towards these accomplishments. We are resilient, a patriotic Muslim voice, a voice that speaks for unity, peace, and love for our neighbors. The council is an established organization. Our day-to-day operations are working for you, your families, and our collective communities as we bring to you vital resources, grants, financial assistance, accessibility to equal opportunities, empowering our youth, continue to build our capacity, strengthening the infrastructure of our masajid and the communities, and we also offering a platform for our imams. The council work is extensive, from the civic engagement, government relation, media relation, interfaith initiatives, religious and youth programming, and our Zakat Chicago, local collection, local distribution. I'm so happy to announce that the council is poised to have a success and will have a continuous success for many more years to come. And I want to thank you all for helping us grow as an organization. At this time, I also want to acknowledge that our CIGC family is growing. As our Ummah in the Chicago is growing in diversity, Council proudly welcome our newest member from Albanian community, the Uzbek community, and Sudanese community. I know they are here. Can you give them the round of applause for being a new member of the Council? As I reflect back 4 years of my tenure as a chairman I'm so humbled and honored to have been able to serve you in this capacity to help our Muslim community move forward. When I started out, I could not have imagined a global pandemic shutting us down. However, the Council has played a key role in holding true to our mission and our role. The Council work has been attributed to saving lives and making a difference in the state of Illinois. Our vision for the future is to lead with trust, reputation, commitment, and be dedicated to addressing the needs and the challenges of our communities. We need you all to continue this journey with us. Together, we can move the Council to the next level. Brothers and sisters, I can assure you our future is bright. The Council is poised to be successful for another 30 years and more to come. The Council's sustainability is in your hands. Your investment in the Council is an investment in the future of Chicago Muslim Ummah. In my closing, I really want to thank you all for being with me for all these years, and what a journey it has been for me personally, and I will cherish this moment for a long time to come. As I'm stepping down, my term is ending, and I have learned a lot that this community service is something that Allah had asked me to work on, and I'm so humbled and honored that I have fulfilled in that role, in that capacity. And I cannot thank enough for all of you who worked with me, who guided me, who consulted me as I needed all the help along my journey. I could not have imagined coming into the Council when I was leading a mosque in the north side of Illinois, and now coming into Chicago and representing the Muslim Ummah. That was a challenge, and that was a blessing. And alhamdulillah, I'm honored to be part with you with this journey. And I want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart for helping me, supporting me, and guiding me all the way through. Thank you so much. I always had a concern about the programs that we were launching, about the initiatives that we were taking, about the difference that we were making in anybody's life, how this is going to reflect each and every one of you and our communities who represent. And Allah knows best that I have always prayed and asked for the guidance every time when we had this opportunity. When we were embarking about new things, I always consulted and always seek Allah's help in this. And I'm so happy that Allah guided us all to do. And I want to make this as a commitment, inshallah, that whoever is going to be coming and leading this organization, we have made this an organization where it's poised for success. And inshallah, with your commitment and with your du'as, inshallah, we will continue to be the leading organization in the state of Illinois, inshallah. I also at this time want to ask first from Allah to forgive any shortcomings that I have, and I also want to seek forgiveness from you all if I have hurt anybody intentionally or unintentionally. Please forgive my shortcomings. And at this time, I also want to acknowledge, I cannot complete this without acknowledging my family, Asma, my kids. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for being patient. I love you all. You guys mean a lot to me. Thank you so much. At this time, I would also like to acknowledge those who have been very instrumental in the Council's success. First and foremost, I want to acknowledge my board, who has tremendously worked so hard behind the scene to make this happen for all of you. So can I have all the board members stand and please acknowledge and make dua for them. Dr. Hamade, Shoaib, Sister Shireen, Sayyidul Zaman, Imam Charles, Sister Suzanne. I know some of our board members traveling for Umrah. They couldn't be here. So thank you for all you do day in and day out. I really appreciate all your help and support. And our presidents and HR. Can I get a round of applause for all those presidents and HR who are present here? Thank you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your continued support for the council. Our community leaders, and also our longtime friend, he just left, Jesse White, for being here with us and supported us all the way through. At this time, I also like to acknowledge my dear friend, Sergeant Syed Khadri from Chicago Police Department, who's here with me. Syed, the CPD is doing an amazing job, and we always want to acknowledge the CPD family for the work that they do and the work they have cut out for themselves. At this time, I also want to acknowledge the Consul Generals who are here with us. First, the Consul General of Pakistan. Thank you, Karim Irfan. Karim Tarek, sorry. And Consul General of Indonesia is here. Consul General of Turkey. Consul General of Egypt. And I cannot conclude without acknowledging all the hard work the council staff has done. Can I hear a round of applause for the council staff members? And at this time, I also want to acknowledge and appreciate all the work was put in to make this happen. All our volunteers and everybody who were behind the scene worked so hard to make this event successful. So can I get a round of applause for everyone? Also, I want to acknowledge Habib. You're an amazing MC. Every time when we have an event, we always look for Habib to do our MC job. Thank you. Thank you for being there for us, and thank you for what you do day in and day out. And I also want to acknowledge all the sponsors, especially the United Muslim Relief. This organization has helped us in the event planning, and I really want to call out for their help and support, what they have done, and then supported us in event planning and all the work that you have done behind the scene. Thank you so much. And I also want to thank all the sponsors for today's event. Their names are all on the yearbook, so thank you for your support. Thank you for continuous support for council, and we look forward to having you for future events as well, inshallah. At this time, I know we have two ex-chairs who were not able to join us earlier. I would like to request both of them, Dr. Bassam Usman and Dr. Talal Sabuli, to please come on stage and accept this award on behalf of the entire Muslim community for being the past chairs of the Council of Islamic Organizations of Greater Chicago. Thank you, Brother Bassam. Thank you, Dr. Talal Sabuli, for the amazing work that you have done for the council, for the vision that you had for the council. And at this time, in my closing, I just want to thank you all. Thank you for being here for us. Thank you for being part of us. And thank you for being part of CIGC family. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of the evening. Assalamu alaikum.
And one of the things that I want to start out by doing is thanking everyone in this room who took the time to vote, regardless of which side you voted on, regardless of who you voted on. Having a voice from the Muslim electorate is much more important and powerful than you could ever imagine. So thank you. That's my first clap. I'm also a clinical neuropsychologist. I practice in Illinois and Dubai, not at the hospitals that you guys see on the
on the program, but I'm recently back, and I'm back to do something wonderful tonight. Because it's not just the people that we elect into office who serve us with dignity and who bring a voice to the voiceless. It's also people who have non-elected positions and appointed positions that influence what happens throughout the world. It is my honor in this regard, on behalf of the council, to introduce the first Muslim to be nominated and Senate approved, America's new ambassador, Rashid Hussain, as the U.S. Ambassador at Large for International Religious Freedom. Ambassador Hussain, your nomination is historic, and we are so excited to have you here celebrating with the council. If you could please join me in a round of applause for Ambassador Rashid Hussain.
Such an honor to be back in Chicago. Chicago, as you all know, is a second home for me, and I want to first start off by congratulating the other awardees that are here tonight. Naheed, Samir, Fatima. The work that you're doing is really work that's close to my heart personally, and work that has made such a monumental impact for the community here and communities all over the United States. Naheed in particular, we work with very closely. In the entire world, the Chicago Muslim community, in and of itself, by itself, the Muslim community in Chicago is one of the most diverse communities in the entire world. It is the place that my father first came to the United States in 1969. It is the place where I was married. And so you can't talk about the past of Islam in America, and you can't talk about pioneering communities without talking about the city of Chicago. You also can't talk about the pioneering communities in Chicago without talking about my own family in Chicago, who I want to acknowledge. Dr. Javed Bhatti, who you know from MEC, MCC, NAS. You know the story better than I do. Hiba's husband and their entire family. So I want to acknowledge one of the pioneering communities who have led the way in Chicago in so many respects. In particular, Abdullah. I want to acknowledge as somebody who broke a lot of barriers with his presence in MEC. And I think after his presence in MEC, many people were emboldened and empowered to join MEC that maybe otherwise would not have. And so it's really truly a great blessing for our community. I also want to thank Habib Qadri. Habib Qadri is an institution now over, I believe, 20 years as the head of the MCC Academy. And his work, that I've noticed it firsthand whenever I come to MEC, when I'm in Chicago, when I come to MEC to pray Jumu'ah prayer or Tarawih, I notice it because he's that much of a presence that you can't help but notice him. And he's such a humble person, despite his large physical stature. But he has such an impact on so many young people that will, inshallah, go on to do things that will make them worthy of this award and much, much greater. And the speaking that he's done on a number of really important topics. So thank you so much for everything that you've done. I mentioned that my father first came to Chicago in 1969. And it's very interesting how he even came to the United States. He was actually, you may have heard me tell the story before, he was with a friend in India. My father grew up in a village in India, in Bihar, one of the poorest states of India, in a village with no electricity. He was actually with a friend of his who was going to go and apply for immigration to come to the United States, and he didn't have the intent on his own to put in his own application. But when he went there to the office, which is Brent was applying, they asked him, well, are you going to be submitting an application as well? He said, I actually don't even have a fee. And they said, don't worry about it, just go ahead and submit your papers. So he decided to, alhamdulillah, the plan was for him to come here to the United States, and my mother followed after. When my father came to the United States, he came to Western United States. He was involved in mining, in the mining industry, and then moved to Texas, where I grew up. And when they moved to the Dallas area, and I think many of you have similar stories, there was so few Muslims that they knew that they actually had to open up the phone book to look for Muslim names to have a Friday prayer. And so they would call people sometimes they weren't even Muslim or not interested. But they managed to find enough people and eventually started with a small group of people and then grew, and now you know that Dallas is now attempting to rival Chicago as another hub of the Muslim community in the United States. So we're so thankful for the growth of the community. But to go even farther back, I'm so grateful for what Imam Charles spoke about. Because when you talk about pioneers, and you talk about honoring the past, it starts off by honoring those that came involuntarily to the United States. Those that came as slaves, that first established Islam and had the courage to keep their practice of Islam going at a time when it was very difficult to do so. They were subjected to such oppression, yet they still persisted through that. And many of them were able to continue practicing. There's well-documented stories of how they did that. The stories in Chicago, and there was collaboration, significant collaboration with the immigrant community as well. Colleagues and friends of people that were here at the same time as my father. But you have this story of involuntary migration and voluntary migration. Those like my family who came here in search of opportunity for us, for our families. My mother was one of the early Muslim physicians in the Dallas area. And she's an obstetrician and gynecologist, and there were Muslim women that used to come from so far away. We were in the Dallas area. I remember there's people coming from Oklahoma, even in other places, because they wanted to have a Muslim woman as their physician. And I remember even when I going back to Dallas as a young kid, it still happens now. Wherever we go in the city, there are women that come to my mother because that relationship is so strong. And they'll bring their kids, they may be grown up now, and they say, this is my son or my daughter, and you were involved as their doctor in their delivery. I remember one time we were even at the toll booth coming out of DFW Airport. It used to be the case that you give your dollar or your change, and everything's automated, so you just kind of fly through. But you actually used to stop and remember talk to people. So we stopped one time, and we're getting change. The woman at the toll booth is a patient of my mother's. And so they're having their conversation, sharing their bond. We're backing up traffic. But that is the story of Islam in America, right? You have people that are coming here for their family to build the country, to do everything that they can to support societies in so many ways. We've heard so many incredible stories like that tonight. As we do this, of course, we face a number of challenges. No doubt that we continue to face significant challenges in the United States and around the world. President Biden recently hosted a summit at the White House, the United We Stand Summit. And the purpose of the summit is to address hatred right here at home and bigotry that we're seeing right here in the United States in the form of domestic terrorism. But part of our message that we send around the world as we do this work of trying to protect human rights and international freedom globally is that we're trying to manage our own problems right here at home and to build a more perfect union, that lifelong task for all of us in public service and the never-ending task that we continue to endeavor in building a more perfect union as our founders talked about. And as we travel around the world, people often then ask us this question, which is, who are you as the United States or the American people or as an ambassador for religious freedom to speak out for human rights and to advocate for religious freedom around the world? And I think that we're uniquely situated to do so for a number of reasons. First of all, We are a country that was founded by many people who themselves were fleeing from religious persecution. And as the founders of this country, they put into the Constitution, secondly, the protection of religious freedom, the prohibition against establishing a state religion, and the free exercise of religion, and making clear in the Constitution that there should be no religious test to hold public office in the United States. And so we have tonight, I'm so honored to be with a number of people that are newly elected representatives and people that are running for office. We are also, thirdly, a country of immigrants, which means we have people that make, and those that come after them, advocate and insist that their elected representatives and their government leaders stand up for the same values that we're trying to protect here that are in our Constitution, that we stand up for them all around the world. So when people ask this question, who are you to advocate for human rights or religious freedom around the world? Part of the answer is that we are a country made up of representatives of the rest of the world, right here in the United States. And it is our sacred duty and obligation to do this work, even as we do our work at home to build a more perfect union. So, as we engage in these efforts around the world to address the genocides that we see, the genocide of the Uyghurs in China, the genocide of Rohingya, we also keep in mind the obligation we have as we do that work to prevent future atrocities. We look at some of the signs that we've seen in those mass atrocities, such as the use of citizenship laws, such as dehumanizing rhetoric against minority communities by government officials, such as open calls for genocide, such as attacks against places of worship. And we see, unfortunately, that there's other places in the world where we're seeing some of those same signs. So we continue our work to advocate vigorously to prevent those types of atrocities from happening elsewhere in the world. In closing, as we all know, and this has been a very hopeful night, a very uplifting night, that of course we are a people of hope. We are a people that remembers the mercy of our Creator in everything that we do. As we're taught this is a faith of mercy, of justice, of equality, as we talked about, as Imam Charles talked about. What separates any of us is nothing except hiding our consciousness of God. Other than that, as we move forward with the spirit of mercy, of hope, of equality, of optimism. And in this day and age, this day of social media and constant criticism and second guessing and the 140 or 280 character age, oftentimes we hear this negativity. We hear that in so many ways the cards are stacked against us. The system no longer works. The system is broken. So is it even worth it? And sometimes that rhetoric even slips into the way we address our communities. We hear that in places of worship. We hear problem after problem. We end up admiring the problem. And of course, it's important to recognize the challenges that we're up against, but it's incredibly disempowering to the young people today. So we move forward, of course, with this notion of optimism. We are taught that even an atom's worth of good that we do, even an atom's worth of good that we do, we will see its results. So we move forward with that optimism for every single small action that we can do. And inshallah, with that spirit, with the hope, with all the work, and I hope that my generation can operate with half the heart and effort of those that are in here in this room, of previous generations. Because if we have even half of the effort that was made, and we operate with even half of that heart, then inshallah, we will be in such an excellent position going forward. And the positions like those that we are honoring tonight will pale in comparison to the positions of those that will come before you, inshallah, the next time that we gather for the 60th anniversary of CIOGC, because by then you will have seen Muslim Americans leading the country, leading the state, and doing some of the best work in the entire world. So thank you so much. I'm deeply grateful for everything that you're doing here and for allowing us the opportunity to be back in Chicago and spend some time with you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Jazakumullah khair. I just want to say, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward every single one of you who spent even $1, because that will grow with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you will find it. You will find it in the day after when you really need everything. The council work, mashallah, Brother Irshad led the council for the last 4 years, and all the board members. However, that work cannot be done without the funds. The fact is, in order to do all that work, you need to have staff, and the staff needs to work comfortably, and without the funds, that cannot happen. So please, again, if you have not donated, or if you have donated some, please consider increasing, because these funds are needed in order for the council to do the work that is being done. Jazakumullah khair, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you in this life and the year after. Jazakumullah khair.
Assalamu alaikum. It will be very brief. We're closing it out. I just want to extend my thank you to all of you. What you have seen today, what you have donated, thank you so much. Funding doesn't matter. I know it's going to come. But the work that council continues to do on your behalf, that is what it needs to be recognized. That's what it needs to be understood. And that's the partnership that we're looking for going forward. So in concluding, I just want to thank you all. The evening cannot end without thanking the main person who really did this on behalf of the Council of Islamic Organization of Greater Chicago and entire Muslim community. I want to acknowledge Brother Shoaib Khadri. He's a board member of the council and the committee chair for this annual gala. Please give a round of applause for him and his team for doing an amazing job. And may Allah accept all the efforts this whole committee did. And with that, I want to conclude, and I want to bring Brother Shoaib here to share some closing remarks.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you, Brother Irshad. Earlier in the program, Brother Irshad brought all our former chairs to recognize and give them an award. But he missed one thing: the award for our current chair, Brother Irshad Khan. Please give it up for Brother Irshad Khan. For the past 4 years, alhamdulillah, for the past 4 years, he's done a phenomenal job with managing the council, taking it to the next level in spite of the pandemic. With that, I'd like to invite our Vice Chair, Dr. Hamade, to please give the award to Brother Irshad Khan.
So, Brother Irshad, this is not going to pay for all the work you did. Only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will. However, we still appreciate all the work you have done, all the sacrifice you have made, you and your family. You deserve a lot more than this, but this is a token of appreciation from the council. So this is in recognition of your service to the CIOGC of Greater Chicagoland Muslim Community. Jazakallah khair. Again, Jazakallah khair.
Just a few more comments before we close out with a closing dua, inshallah. First of all, once again, thank you for taking the time to be here today. We are truly honored. Our today's theme was honoring the past and committing to the future. So I hope that the program and the dinner we were able to do justice in articulating this theme. Alhamdulillah, the CIOGC Gala is designed to unify us as one unified Muslim community in the Chicagoland area. And it is the council's success and strength is all dependent on all of you, the member organizations. Now, our flagship program of the Gala, Muslim Achievers, alhamdulillah, every year we have a committee that looks at different nominations, and the job only gets tougher. This only means that it's a true testament to the significant impact made by Muslims, the Muslim community members in different fields. In closing, and there's one other thing is, in our relentless pursuit to improve our program, we looked at feedback that we received in the previous years. Like last year, the dinner was served late. The program was long. That's why we moved the dinner earlier. So we made sure that we listened to you. Even today, we have some forms to fill out, feedback forms. Please let us know how we did, and inshallah, we'll implement this in the future. With that, once again, thank you. I'd like to bring Habib back for the closing dua, inshallah.